In a fun jump journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and Yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome to Hither and Yon Studio. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. A big shout out to all my Ko-Fi subscribers. I wanted to say hello to you guys, all my members over there on my coffee shop, Ko-Fi, Kofi, say it as you will. I just want to say hi. Hello, friends. And to all my studio friend members here on YouTube, hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name's DJ and this is the studio and I play with paper, and today we are playing in the October Craft Along. This is the Journey to Light Fairy Journal. As of today, we are up to this part. The circle glows, a doorway bright. The fading day transforms to light. A golden hush, the world grown still, invites the heart to trust, to fill. This is where I left you guys in part 4. This is part 5. If you missed the rest, go back to the beginning of the month. You'll see number 1, and then you can follow along parts 2, 3, and 4 to get to here. This is part 5. The final installment will be next week. I will provide you with the full story, some additional freebies, and we'll finish up our craft along. But let's get started today. I did add this little bit here. What else did I do? I think I put something back here. Yes, this little acorn with a key. The key. And then the rest of it we did. I didn't put anything in here. I suppose I should. I suppose I could. I could. That's too big, huh? That's too big. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for playing. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really like this one. I want it in here. Here's what I can do. I want it to be a little shorter, so I'm just going to fold this up in the back and make it a pocket. You should have received a new set of freebies. Got some more cards to continue the story, and I gave you some extra fussy cuts, including this mirror with the crystal fairy in it. We're going to add that right on a page. All right, so here I have this. Let me get a little tabby for the top. What do I want to use? I need something for the pocket here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Actually, I'm just going to do this. There we go. I like the way that looks. That's fine. I don't have to add anything. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for playing with me in this fun journal. This is so fun. All right, so we're going to continue our story. I'm going to read the next passage. So we're kind of still journaling between areas. The last very large structure that we saw on our journey here was this garden, the cottage of growth. And from there, we just had some journaling pages, and now we're here in this little portal. She's moving along on the story. So I'm just going to continue for you guys, and then we'll move into the next section and do some more decorating. The meadow's hum faded into a warm quiet as the travelers stepped toward the light. It was no sun she approached, but a doorway of brilliance. An arc made of crystal beams that shimmered in every hue of the setting day. Passing through it felt like stepping into the inside of a soft and peaceful sigh. Beyond the doorway stood the Crystal Tower. Here we are at the Crystal Tower. A tall, radiant spire that caught the last light of the evening and scattered it like kindness reflected back into the world. Every facet of its walls held the day's color, rose, gold, and violet, and each glimmer seemed to move, pulsing faintly, alive with unseen energy. The traveler climbed a short incline towards it, her feet brushing paths of starlit dust that glittered faintly in the fading light. When she reached the tower's base, she saw that its entrance was open. No door, just a soft glow within as though it were waiting, and she stepped inside. The interior was bathed in a quiet golden radiance that seemed to come from nowhere and yet everywhere at once. Crystals lined the walls in tall arcs, and through them shimmered faint images, not of her reflection this time, but of moments. A cup of tea handed to a friend, a letter written and forgotten, a meal cooked for someone who never said thank you. Each act quietly glowed and then faded, replaced by others. So many she had done without thought, each one returning to her now like light reflected from the hearts of others. A sound stirred, delicate as glass chimes. Turning, she saw a fairy standing atop a low crystal pedestal. Her wings were long and tapered like shards of sunlight, and she held a strand of golden thread that seemed to pulse with its own soft rhythm. "You think kindness ends where it's given," said the fairy, her voice warm but knowing. "But it doesn't. Every act of care moves through others and comes back to you, though not always in the same shape." The traveler looked around. Some of the glowing scenes had changed, now showing faces smiling faintly, hands offering help, eyes soft with understanding. Not all of them were hers. She recognized people she had loved, even some she had thought indifferent. Their gestures, small, easily missed, shone faintly too. The fairy smiled, holding out the golden thread. "Not everyone speaks gratitude in words. Some give it in their patience. Some in quiet things they do when you're not looking. Love doesn't always echo. It sometimes hums softly, waiting for you to notice." The traveler reached out and touched the thread. It vibrated gently, a shimmer of warmth running up her arm. For a moment she could feel the pulse of connection, the living rhythm that bound all hearts together in unseen ways. Tears filled her eyes, but they were light tears, grateful, released. She understood now that every meal cooked, every chore done, every late night favor, even when met with silence, had never been for nothing. Each was a quiet offering, a love song written in gestures rather than words. When she looked up again, the tower seemed to expand with light, filling the air around her with shifting color. The fairy's wings glittered once before she dissolved into the glow, her voice lingering like a promise. "Keep giving, even when it goes unseen. What you send into the world always finds its way back, not as applause, but as warmth." The traveler smiled, her hands glowing faintly with reflected light. She stepped out of the tower as the first stars began to shimmer across the violet sky. The air was cool, the world hushed, and ahead, a curtain of soft color, the rainbow veil waited, fluttering between twilight and night. The air was cool, the world hushed. Oh, I did that part, sorry. Across the sky, the colors stream, like woven threads from heart to dream. Through mist and hue, the path turns clear. The light ahead draws you near. And that is this verse, which goes with this pathway we're now taking. And we'll do a little decorating at this point as we reflect upon that passage and think about, sometimes those of us that, our love language is helping others, we don't often see it come back, right? Or sometimes we just don't see it come back the way we want. Sometimes it's our loved ones talking about us in a kind way when we're not around, or a stranger helping us in some way, or just a miracle of something coming at the right time. I think all of those are a return of the love that we put out there. So I think it's always a good message to remember that just because someone we want to kind of notice our deeds or affections is not noticing, that doesn't mean that it's in vain. So that is the message of today. And I am going to put this message over here by our beautiful rainbow gateway here. What do I want to do with this one? Let's see, what do I got over here? Okay, so I have an opportunity to kind of have this move and show something through the other side. So I'm probably going to glue these pages together, but I want to punch something out here, and I need to find a punch that's going to fit. So hold on. I have this 1 3/4, so let's just see how far I can get it to reach, and that's where we're putting our item. Okay, so just punched a little hole. You can tear these and kind of roll them back if you want. That would be kind of cool. I'm just going to put something hidden over there. I don't know what. Let's see. I have this like a portal that spins, but I think I want to use it for something else. I still have a seed there. I have flowers. I have a fairy. Oh, I have this lantern. Hold on. Let's see something. I wonder if, let me trim, I'm going to trim a little off of this because I think I could make it a cool little pocket that will show off the lantern, but it's a little too thick. And a little off the bottom. A little off the top, a little off the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. I got to do a little more off the bottom. Okay, and then it's too short, so I'm just going to put something behind it to kind of extend it a little, but not a lot. This is here, so I could use this. What other papers do I have? Oh, you know what? I do like the lantern. Yeah, it's fine because it's kind of twilight night. It's turning to night, so I'll have this kind of lighting her way. It is not a straight line at all, is it? When is it? When is it ever? Let's try that again, folks. You know what it is? I think this might not be straight. Or maybe it's an optical illusion. I don't know. Okay, that'll stick out a little. So let me see if I make it a tag now where it's going to stick out. Is that a little? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to just use my tag punch here. Might be a little bit too tall, so take a little bit off of here. I think that'll be about right. All right, and the back I just printed with some purpley paper. I changed the hue of, I don't know, some neutral paper that I had. Like a good little tag to write on. But before I do all that, I'm going to attach my card with a brad up here in the corner, so it's kind of hiding that, and then it moves out of the way. I don't know, just some movement. And then it's going to be glued down. So I'm going to punch it here. And I have some brads that are like these little flowers. So I'm going to grab one of them. And it's pink. These are in my Amazon shop, or a version of them. I've had these for probably 20 years. But any brad will do. I just happen to have them, and I'm trying to use up all my stuff. So that will go like that. And then I'm just going to put a piece of tape over that so it won't inhibit anything going in and out of that pocket. It might still get a little caught, but not as bad. And then this is going to fit down in here as a reveal. So let's just glue this closed now. Fun, right? Just a little. I love little hidden bits. Ooh, that's way over because this page is weird. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get a paper towel just to add some lint, so hopefully it won't stick. I need to be way over here. Oh, don't rip. Oh no. Oh no. Easy, Louie. Alright, I'm gonna get a little piece of washi. Nope, I'm gonna get some. Yep, I'm gonna get a piece of washi. I am such a brute sometimes, I tell you. Okay. I think we're okay now. Where is the edge? Goodness me. Hey, I'm only human. Okay, you're gonna stick to this page. So these are ideas you can incorporate even if you've kind of sewn in your signatures already. Here we go, a little guiding light. Can add a little bit of lace to that. Or I can add some of the washi and then maybe it'll look intentional. Okay. See? Ta-da! I like it. Okay. What else? What else should we do? Well, we had another fairy appear. So we're moving into the next part of the story, which is crystals. So I think I'll put her here, but I feel like I want to start to incorporate some of these. And maybe this can tuck behind. It's going to stick there. I want this to kind of be all one cohesive piece. Nope. So no movement. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to stick here. Our little tootsies need some glue. There we go. Maybe here too. Oh, and I didn't put the I didn't put the staff. It's okay. It can go here. Maybe with a little portal. Maybe I'll put both of them here. So let me do that. Maybe I want it more like a belly band. Not a good day for me and glue. Okay. Making sure I didn't glue them down. All right, good. So we have that. We have quite a few pages in here. Okay, so we did here. What's back here? Did I do anything else here? No. I should probably have some more. I have the circle pockets. The little fishy. I have a butterfly. She belongs more near this meadow. I'm going to put this one over here. Got to punch that out. Because I didn't use any of these yet. I think that one works there. Just going back to where the fishy was with the bridge. Oh, I love this little journal so much. There he is. Okay, so what's here? I am going to add him here. I thought I had one more of these. Oh, wait, I do. Hold on. I think I could use this one with the fish. What do you think? It's not watery, but hey, whatever. He's got to go over here. This is where he lives. I love this little fish. Okay, back here. I do have... Okay, I know what I'll do here. I have this little envelope with the star on the other side. And I put it together, and there is a piece that goes in here. This one, I have some room on the back. Maybe I could put this little key. She didn't need a key to get in the door, but you could certainly add that to your story. So I am going to. Perhaps the key is in the understanding about how our small acts always come back in some way. I think that's a universal law. What you put out comes back. You may not believe that, but I strongly believe that. I think that's why people who are constantly in a cycle of bad thoughts, I don't know what the good word is. Sometimes we can't help our bad thoughts. It just kind of gets in there, right? I'm going to cut this. Keep seeing the same things turn up. Either they're not learning the lesson that they want, or they're supposed to, not that they want, or their thoughts are in the wrong place. Thoughts become things. You guys ever heard that? Thoughts become things. Is this going to fit if I put it on here? Barely. All right, let's try without. I forgot there's this little notch here, so it's all good. And then I took one of... Where are you? I took one of the flags and I turned it into a paper clip. So I just folded it over a paper clip on the long side. And now I can clip this here. And that'll actually hold that a little too. There we go. All right, so continuing on now. You guys still see they want to stick now. Okay, we're still moving. We've got bink, bink. Okay. All right. As she stepped through the veil of color, the world grew quiet again. So we've gone here. We're stepping through the veil of color. The air shimmered thick with dusk, not dark, but luminous, as though every color of day and night had blended together into a single endless glow. The ground beneath her feet shifted to smooth stone, warm and faintly iridescent, and in the distance, the Temple of Harmony rose. It rose from still waters, round and radiant, its domed roof reflecting the rainbow sky above. Lotus blossoms floated around its base, their petals open and silvered by the light. The traveler walked across a narrow bridge, the water so still it mirrored every step she took. Her reflection moved below her, steady and calm, and she found herself slowing again, matching its rhythm. When she reached the temple steps, she paused, feeling the hush of the place seep into her chest. Inside, the air was soft and fragrant, carrying the scent of lilies and rain. Light rippled through crystal arches, scattering faint patterns across the floor. She sat upon one of the stone benches encircling a small reflecting pool, the surface so smooth it looked like glass. At first, all she saw was herself. Then, as she watched, the reflection began to shift, memories flickering like candlelight. There were moments she'd carried for years, unkind words, disappointments, the silent hurts that had lingered too long. For a moment she felt them rise, heavy and familiar, and she almost turned away, but the light around her pulsed gently, as if asking her to stay. The ripples softened, and a figure appeared in the reflection. A fairy. delicate and serene, sitting where her reflection had been. The fairy's wings shimmered with soft color, and her eyes held the deep calm of understanding. "You cannot always choose what happens," said the fairy, her voice like the sound of wind through hollow reeds. "But you can choose how you see it." The traveler felt the words sink into her like the drops of rain after a drought. "When you hold on to pain," the fairy continued, "you keep its shadow alive. But when you offer grace, even when it isn't earned, you invite light where darkness would linger. And that light will not always return through the same hands that hurt you. It may come through laughter on another day or through kindness from someone you never met, but it will come because love always finds its way home." The traveler bowed her head. She thought of all the times she had chosen resentment, confusion, self-blame. She thought of how easy it was to stay hurt and how hard it was to stay open. Then she looked up and met the fairy's gentle gaze. "How do I keep my heart open," she whispered, "when it feels easier to close it?" The fairy smiled, her wings glinting with light that seemed to come from within. "By remembering that love is not given because someone deserves it," she said softly. "It is given because you deserve peace." The fairy rose and touched the surface of the pool with one fingertip. Light spread outward in a perfect circle, dissolving the last of the traveler's reflections until only radiance remained. The pool shimmered like the surface of the moon, and the fairy's voice drifted through it like a blessing. "Choose love, not because it is returned, but because it keeps your spirit whole." The traveler sat for a while longer, her eyes closed, letting the stillness settle around her. When she finally stood, the temple's light reflected faintly on her skin, not as a glow cast upon her, but one that seemed to come from within. Outside, night was beginning to rise, indigo, deep, and filled with stars. The waters surrounding the temple glowed faintly with their reflection, and across it, a faint golden archway pulsed ahead, humming with joy. The next path awaited. An arc of stone in twilight's glow, from its heart, warm lights below. Soft wings gather, bright and near. They lead you on through love, not fear. And so we learn our next lesson here, carried from the previous passage. And now you see where the little fairy mirror goes. I think this is perfect. So I'm putting this here right in this part. And then I have, you know what, maybe on the next page, I think I'll put it. So hold on, because I think we need something here on this page first. So I'm going to put her on the other side. I'm just going to jump a page here, like so. I'm going to fill this with crystals and use it as a pocket. But here, I kind of want to have, kind of some of these to match here. And kind of the radiance of light that was kind of coming out. And then I think I'll put these little orbs in here because I think that they work, and maybe a crystal. So, right, because we also have a few crystals. So I'm going to glue these together. And they're going to be a pocket. And I'm going to use this healing light. And maybe a little breakthrough. So I have this little punch, which I'll use for these, because it'll just give them a little fun edge. A little healing light, right? A little breakthrough in our thinking. Ta-da! Okay. Now with her, I want to put all these other crystals because they look really pretty here. I'll put the orbs in this one. Can never have too many crystals. If you saw my shelves, you would know I have many, 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 many crystals. We have a huge crystal store here near me. It's like 15 minutes away, and it is spectacular. It's in an old church, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Inside, it's got like a tin roof ceiling, like a tin ceiling. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, so I'm going to put these orbs of light in here. I think they make sense. And these can be journaled on. Like so. And maybe we'll add these guys somewhere. I kind of feel like they need to come into the story now. Okay, so I'm just going to glue them down. He's going to be a pocket, but this guy's getting glued. There you go, love. They're doves. Pretty purple doves. Because why not? All right, can I make him a pocket? I don't know if that's going to be an issue. What else do I have here? Hold on. Maybe I should do that, and then he is a dove after all. I'll put them both up there, and then I'll make a pocket. Nothing too strenuous today, guys. I hear my doggie up there. She's like, Ma, what are you doing? All right, and this one I'm going to make a gusseted pocket. It's got more of that radiant light. The last of it, because we're going into night. Okay, and I have trying to think what I want to add here, because I don't want to cover up the dove too much. Nope. Well, I suppose I can cut this down a little. This one's the bridge from the previous portion of the story. So that can go there, and I can put a little hole through here. And a bit of string. Let me see what I can find. Maybe something purpley. I have this. Let's see. How am I going to do it? It's pretty hardy string. It's a piece of sari, actually, recycled sari. I always grab the pieces that are so complex. Let go. No, huh? Okay, we're just going to do this. Ha. There we go. What else? I gave you these little bits, okay? And I thought these would make a cool belly band. That was my initial thought, but although I think you could make fun charms out of these too, but I think I'm going to assemble mine like a little belly band. Let's see how we get on with that. It could be a little wonky too. You could kind of go this way and that with it if you wanted. Oh, wrong way. Because I have these cards, which are kind of this way, and I thought they would kind of fit in here well. I can get them in there. Like that. There we go. Ta-da! All right, I think we're going to leave it here today. But we will come back next Thursday and we'll finish this up. I'll do the cover. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Hold on. Before I leave, I just want to attach this here, and then I want to make tabs because I did that all throughout. So do I want this? I think I'm just going to glue this one down. Okay, and I didn't have any more tabs, so I'm going to make them, and I wanted to show you what I was going to do. So I folded over 2 pieces of paper. That's about a 1/2 inch. And then I cut them about the same width as the other tabs in here. Let me find one. I just kind of lined it up, and I tried to make it about as much of the height because I didn't have any more. And then I need this, and I'm just going to make my own tabs. So I'm just going to take out those corners. You just saw me do this with the other tab I was going to put on top of that tag. And this makes little tabs. So if you ever need a tab, you can do this. I've shown this before, but I know some people are new here, so hello new friends, and hello to all my TV watchers. Okay, so this one's going to go here. Oh, I already have kind of this, huh? Oh, maybe I'll put it over here. So it's going to have to go in the middle because The other one is on the end. Just kind of wanted to indicate somehow where all those little passages were. Like that. And then the last one, oh my goodness, I love these, so cute, so cute. Here, and that'll go here because that will make everything align, and then we'll always know where the little passages are to our story. Make sure I'm not grabbing 2 pages. That would be me. Okay. So now when we look at it at the top, see how it's going like... So anyway, I wanted to do that. All right, guys. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little episode of our story, and I will see you guys next Thursday. And in the meantime, look for the storybook that will come as your extras. And don't forget to go get your extras from today, which are in your email. And if you can't find them in your email, just go back to the original email you got with the full kit and click and go into that folder, and then you'll find all of the bonuses. Okay? Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and the bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos. I'll see you guys all next week. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!